Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into this. Today, we are stepping into the fascinating and honestly surprisingly high-stakes world of New Orleans property research. Now, these records are public by law to protect property rights and ensure transparency for everyone. And whether you're a real estate investor, an attorney, a journalist, an heir trying to untangle some complex family property, or just a curious homebuyer, understanding how these public records actually work in Orleans Parish, it's literally a superpower. It can save you time, save you money, and for sure help you avoid some incredibly expensive mistakes down the line.
Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, can't I just look up a property on a real estate app and see everything I need to know? Well, I am here to go ahead and shatter that illusion. Those basic online portals, they barely scratch the surface. If you rely only on them, you are completely missing the most valuable details that are hidden deep inside government databases.
We're talking about the real heavy hitters here, the true ownership history, hidden LLCs, official deed transfers, tax assessments, mortgages, liens, successions, and foreclosure filings. Just imagine buying a home only to discover there's a massive hidden contractor lien attached to it, or an heir realizing the property is still completely tangled up in an old succession. This is the insider-level information that dictates who actually owns what, and exactly what legal baggage might be attached to the whole shebang.
So here is our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the dual-track system, move on to the assessor, taxes, and maps, jump into land records and title, tackle deep historical research, and wrap up with best practices and warnings.
All right, Section 1, the dual-track system.
Before you even think about typing a single address into a search bar, you have to understand this massive paradigm shift. Unlike almost everywhere else in the United States, Louisiana's legal system is rooted in civil law. It's a tradition inherited from its French and Spanish colonial regimes. And this unique history didn't just shape the culture down here, it directly shaped how property is recorded. It created a completely divided framework for tracking real estate. So the absolutely crucial point here is this dual-track system. If you take away only one thing from us today, let it be this. Property records in New Orleans are split between two completely different government authorities. Track 1 is the Orleans Parish assessor. They handle valuation, taxes, and mapping, but crucially, the assessor's records are not legally binding proof of ownership. A really common mistake beginners make is assuming an assessor's tax bill proves legal ownership. It doesn't. Track 2 is the Clerk of Civil District Court's Land Records Division. That is where you find the official legally binding documents like deeds and mortgages. So you must use the assessor for structural and tax data and the clerk of court for legal ownership.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, Assessor, Taxes, and Maps. This is our Track 1.
When you're trying to make sense of the incredible density and complexity of parcels across the city, you really need to use Geographic Information Systems, or GIS. By using tools like the City of New Orleans Property Viewer, it's kind of like having a bird's-eye view. You can verify parcel boundaries, look up zoning rules, check out historic districts, and even see structural footprints from aerial imagery, all linked directly back to assessor data.
Now, when you look at the assessor's data, you'll see exactly how they calculate property taxes. Louisiana law actually mandates specific classification percentages for this. For both land and residential improvements, the assessed value is calculated at exactly 10% of the property's established fair market value. But figuring out that fair market value, well, that leads us to a pretty massive local quirk.
Figuring out fair market value brings up a staggering data secret. Get this, Louisiana is one of only 14 states in the entire country that does not legally require buyers and sellers to disclose the sale price of a property in public documents. No way, right? This secret makes it incredibly difficult to find a property's true sale price, which obviously complicates valuation for the assessor. And it requires researchers like us to dig much, much deeper than we would in other states.
So to overcome those hurdles, you'll want to lean heavily on these free Track 1 online portals. You can use the assessor's official portal to search by address or owner name to get those baseline valuations. Use the city's property viewer for visualizing zoning and lot lines. If you need to see who's been actually paying the taxes over the years, the tax bill portal holds historical bills all the way back to 2008. And if your research takes you outside the city limits, QPublic is a fantastic statewide gateway.
All right, let's jump into Section 3, Land Records and Title. Welcome to Track 2.
Now that you have your baseline data sorted, it's time to graduate to the heavy-hitting legal documents. In Louisiana, you really need to know the local vocabulary. When we talk about deeds or property transfers down here, you're constantly going to hear the word conveyance.
A conveyance is simply a legal record, most commonly an act of sale, that documents the official, legally binding transfer of real estate ownership from one party to another.
To track a property's history, professionals pull what's called a chain of title. Grab Notepad because here is your step-by-step professional workflow. Step 1. Use the assessor's portal to find the most recent cited sale date or instrument number. Step 2. Run those names through online indexes like eClerksLA or use the nonprofit tool the Lens for recent monetary sales. And finally, Step 3. You take those instrument numbers to the Land Records Division to verify the actual official conveyance documents.
So why do you need to go through the trouble of checking the Land Records Division? Because it holds an absolute treasure trove of data. This is where you find the real skeletons in the closet. You uncover if a property has a mortgage on it, if a contractor filed a lien for unpaid work, if the property is tangled up in a succession after someone passed away, or if it's facing foreclosure. You simply cannot find this legal reality on the assessor's website.
Now, accessing these legal records online is kind of a tale of two systems. On the free side, you can search the statewide index at eClerksLA to see if a document even exists, or use the Lens to see monetary sales since 2014. However, if you want to sit on your couch and actually read the pages of a mortgage or an active sale, you are going to need to set up a paid remote access subscription through the Orleans Parish Clerk of Court.
Moving on to Section 4, Deep Historical Research.
Okay, but what if you're researching, say, a 200-year-old Creole cottage in the French Quarter or a massive mansion in the Garden District? New Orleans history requires utilizing the Notarial Archives Research Center. This is mind-blowing. They have records dating all the way back to 1735. But here is the catch. Because of those colonial civil law practices we talked about, these ancient records are not organized by the property's address. They are bound chronologically by the name of the private notary who handled the transaction. It is a completely different way of researching.
Because of this deep history and honestly the limits of digitization, sometimes you just have to hit the pavement and search in person. For modern title and mortgages, you go to 1340 Poydras Street, 4th floor. For those historic notarial records, you just head down to the 3rd floor of the same exact building. If you're stuck, the Real Estate and Records Office in City Hall maintains some incredible historical ownership files, and the City Archives over at 219 Leola Avenue houses the deed fax books, which are a total lifesaver for properties that changed hands between 1961 and the late 1980s.
Oh, and for you investors and journalists trying to unmask a generic-sounding LLC, here is a fantastic pro tip. You'll often find that a property's owner is listed as some obscure company. To unmask these corporate shells, you just have to connect the local parish land records with the Louisiana Secretary of State's commercial database. By cross-referencing the LLC name there, boom, you can uncover the registered agents and the true beneficial owners hiding behind the company name.
And finally, Section 5, Best Practices and Warnings. Before you dive in and start digging, we definitely need to cover a quick professional disclaimer. Public records are incredibly powerful, but systems upgrade, links change, and fees apply for certain copies and remote access. Plus, scammers frequently misuse public property information, so please never take a quick online summary as gospel. If you are making a major financial decision, actually scratch that. Any legal or financial move at all, always verify the information directly with official government agencies, a title company, or a qualified attorney.
So there you have it. You now understand the dual-track system, you know how to navigate the assessor's quirks, where to pull legally binding conveyances, and even how to dig into centuries-old archives. So I leave you with this question. Armed with all these insider tools, what hidden details are you going to uncover in your next New Orleans property search? Get out there and start researching.